Pansies were one of my favorite flowers in my mother's garden when I was growing up, so I like to make the tissue paper version to have around the house year-round. Let me show you how to make these in just a few simple steps. For this project, you'll need dark and light purple and yellow tissue paper, skinny green pipe cleaners, fingernail clippers, scissors, a pen, a quarter, a nickel, something round to trace around that's about 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter, a note card or a piece of paper. The first step in making pansies is to create the patterns to cut out the petals. So we're going to start with the large outer petal, and the easiest way I found to do this is to trace around something round. This is about 1.5 to 2 inches. This is a lid from one of the spices in my kitchen cupboard. What you're going to do is trace around it once. I'm just using a note card here. You can use paper, but the note card's a little more durable. And overlap the circles evenly. So you can see that I've just cut out the outside of the circles to make that pattern. Next, I'm going to make the smaller inside petals, the light purple ones here, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use something smaller to trace around. A quarter is about the right size. Okay, I'm going to cut that out the same way. For the center part of the pansy, we're going to use a nickel as our base, and we can just use that to trace directly on the tissue paper. For the stem, we're going to use a skinny green pipe cleaner, and we're going to cut it in half with fingernail clippers. The next step is to make the yellow part on the end of the stem. So to do that, we don't have to make a pattern. We're just going to freehand cut a small rectangle of yellow tissue paper about 2 inches by 1 inch. Doesn't need to be exact. Mine certainly not. You want to hold the pipe cleaner against the tissue paper so you still have about 1/4 inch at the top that's free. Then you're going to wrap the tissue paper tightly around the pipe cleaner. That tip where the extra tissue paper was, fold it down and then fold it once again so that that extra tissue paper is in the middle. So you should end up with something that looks like this. And that will be our stem. The next step is to cut out our petals. So I'm going to use a larger one on dark purple, and I'm assuming you're making more than one pansy, so we can cut through several layers of the tissue paper at a time. You only need 1 layer per flower. I'm going to trace around my pattern and cut it out. Next, we'll cut the smaller petals with the light purple. And again, we're going to cut through several layers at once. Last, we're going to trace around the nickel on the dark purple again for the center. Next, take one of the center pieces and fold it into 4s. Hold on to the very center of your folded piece and just cut triangles off of the edges like so. And this is going to create a 4-pointed center piece. To assemble your flower, take your prepared stem and carefully poke it through that tiny center piece first. Slide it carefully all the way up to the yellow part and pinch it up just a little bit. Next, we'll take one of the light purple petals, do the same thing, run it to the top, and we're going to scrunch the bottom of it just a tiny bit. Finally, we'll take a dark purple petal piece, poke the stem through the middle, and we're going to position it so that one of the petals at the bottom of the light purple comes between two large petal pieces. Then we're going to scrunch it just a tiny bit to get those petals to come upward just a little bit. And that completes a pansy. The pansies work really well in a small arrangement by themselves, or you can use them in accent pieces for a larger arrangement. I've got lots of other tissue paper flower ideas and other crafts at my channel, so please subscribe so you don't miss an episode.